Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, 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 look.
What's up everyone, it's JackalGoldKick, and in this video I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the rapper Joell Ortiz. Now, Joell Ortiz is a rapper that I think is honestly wasted potential. Now, I think Joell Ortiz can rap really well. I think he's really good when it comes to lyricism and putting lyrics together. He's a beast at that. I think he has good song topics and good lyrics. I think he has a really good flow. He's got a distinctive rap voice that's good and stands out. I like his rap voice. He has some humor to him, like in one of the Slaughterhouse songs, he mentions something about an unfinished burger, and sometimes he says this catchphrase, which is Yawa. And then another thing I think is distinctive about him, and another good thing about him, is he has a distinctive, unique catchphrase, which is the catchphrase he says Yawa sometimes. I don't know what that means, but it's a unique catchphrase. But aside from that, I think musically, as a musician, Joell Ortiz is just not that good, and he can't make good music. You know, and when it comes to Joell Ortiz's music, I've heard a decent chunk of his music. I kind of skimmed through his new album, Autograph. I've heard some music from his House Slippers album. I've heard some music from his one album, I think it's called Free Agent or something like that. And I've heard some music from his one album, Brooklyn. And then I've heard remixes from him, and I've heard like music here and there from other projects I skimmed through. And overall, musically, I just think Joell Ortiz is a boring musician. He just doesn't make good songs, and I think it's a real shame. I think he's wasted potential because he has a lot of good aspects to him. He's got a good rap voice. He can rap really well. He's got a dope flow. He's got a, you know, he's really good at rapping. He puts lyrics together well. He has good lyrics. He has good song topics and all that stuff. But when it comes to the music itself, he just can't make good music. He can't make good songs. He can't make good albums. And I think it's a huge shame, because if he were to have the right decisions made, and if he were to try to make really good music, I think he could be really good, and I could grow to be a fan of him, and he could be one of my favorites, because he would already have those good aspects I mentioned. Plus, if he would start making better music and improving the problems with his music, he would just start making better music. And I think the problem with Joell Ortiz's music is his production. He's a New York boom bap rap type of style rapper, and I think the production he uses is his biggest problem with his music, and why I don't think he makes good music or appealing music. His production is just very bland, it's dull, it's boring, it's plain, it doesn't really stand out, and I've never cared for it, and it just makes all the songs boring and not enjoyable, you know? And another reason I can tell that the production is a big problem is some of the only tracks I do like by Joell Ortiz is, I like the You Don't Even Know It remix. He was really good on there. I like that because that's actually a good beat, and it was a good remix from him. I like his response to Kendrick Lamar when he did a response to Kendrick's Control verse. Back when Kendrick did the Control verse, he has a good response. I liked him with Crooked Eye and the Heart in the Paint remix. You know, that was good stuff from Joell Ortiz. That was good stuff. He was good on those remixes. He was dope on them because they had dope beats. And those remixes show me that production is the thing that if Joell Ortiz would improve his production and fix that problem with his music, I think he would make really good music. Because like I said, Joell Ortiz is a guy that can rap really well. He can put lyrics together. He's a beast when it comes to lyricism. He has a dope flow. He has a dope, distinctive, really good rap voice. He has a lot of good qualities to him. But musically, he's just not there. Musically, he just can't make good songs. I haven't really heard a lot of good songs from this guy besides those three remixes I listed that I do like. I haven't really heard any good albums or even classic albums from this guy. And this guy's never really made classic music. He's never really made good songs on his own. He's never really made classic albums either. The only things I liked from him were those three remixes I mentioned, you know. And I think Joell Ortiz should improve his production and rap over better beats, and that would massively improve his music. Because I don't have an issue with the lyrics. I don't have an issue with the song topics. I just think the production and the beats he chooses to make his music with and rap on is the problem with his music, and it's what makes his music boring. And it's the biggest issue I have with his music itself. I just think he needs better beats and better production. If he would get someone like Dr. Dre or Timbaland or Eminem, you know, to produce his music or to produce some albums for him, I think he would be really damn good, and he would start making really good music, you know? And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. You know, those are my thoughts on Joell Ortiz. Like I said, I don't think he's trash. I just think he's a rapper with wasted potential. I just think he's one of those artists and one of those rappers that he's really good at rapping, and he has that nailed down, and he has good qualities about him. But when it comes to making music, when it comes to being a musician, Joell Ortiz just doesn't really do a good job at it, and he's just not really good at making music. He ends up just making forgettable, dull music that's not fun to listen to and not really interesting at all. You know, and I think that's the problem with Joell Ortiz, is he can rap really well and he has really good qualities to him. But musically, I think Joell Ortiz just falls apart and just can't really make good songs. And like I said, the biggest issue with him is his production. He chooses very boring, plain, dull, uninteresting, forgettable beats to rap over. The production style he uses, from what I notice, is that New York boom bap rap type style. And he just seems to be like a sheer lyricism kind of guy, and that kind of plays into his production and beat choices. And his beat choices and production choices are just pretty poor. They come off as poor, bland, dull, not interesting. So it makes his music overall and songs overall not interesting or fun or enjoyable to listen to. And it's a real shame, because I feel like if this guy would pick up better beats, have the right kind of producers on his songs and albums, he could fix a lot of the problems with his music, and he could start making some really good music and start improving. I'll give you an example. Busta Rhymes, right? I checked out some, not all, but I checked out some of Busta Rhymes' older music. Wasn't really into it, because a lot of it was that New York boom bap stuff. The Busta Rhymes I grew up on was Genesis. I thought Genesis was a good album and was an improvement over old school Busta Rhymes, because you had production from Dr. Dre and stuff like that, and you had much more interesting beats on Genesis. Much more interesting beats that made for better songs and made for better tracks, you know. And I think Genesis was a huge improvement over old school Busta Rhymes. Because I've heard some of Busta Rhymes' old stuff, like from his first album, The Coming, or whatever that was, his very first project, and some of his early music. I just really wasn't a fan of it. I found it to be boring and dull. And the problem was his production. So when he did Genesis, and actually had good production, especially for people like Dr. Dre, you know, with good beats like Break Your Neck and Bad Dreams and Trunk Volume, you know, those songs had really good beats, and it showed that it really improved Busta Rhymes' music and made him sound a lot better. And the same thing would happen to Joell Ortiz if he would actually use good beats, improve his production, and get some people like Dr. Dre or Timbaland or Eminem to start giving him some beats and start producing songs for him and albums for him to make him sound a lot better and make better music. So those are my overall thoughts on Joell Ortiz. That's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. And let me know what you think of Joell Ortiz, if you know who he is, and what you think of him. Peace.